Most fighters train to fail. Their processing loop is broken before they step into the ring. Today, you learn why that happens and how to fix it. Watch any sparring session. A fighter sees an opponent, decides to throw a jab and throws it. The jab misses by a foot. No surprise, no recalibration. They reset and repeat. This is a critical malfunction. The three stages of processing, observation, formulation, execution, operate as isolated silos, not as an integrated feedback loop. Stage 1 observes opponent but fails to capture critical conditions: exact distance, psychological readiness, biomechanical positioning. Stage 2 formulates a command based on habit, not on specific data from Stage 1. Stage 3 executes regardless of relevance. The miss does not travel back to correct the model. That is why a boxer throws 100 punches and lands 30. The 70 misses become acceptable statistical noise, not system failures. Your goal is to eliminate that noise. This disassociation is not accidental. Training methods cultivate it. Drilling techniques in isolation builds strong execution, but teaches it to operate on null input from observation. You learn to execute without needing to observe real, changing conditions. Free sparring introduces overwhelming, uncategorized stimuli. Without a framework to understand the chaos, your brain protects itself by simplifying. It defaults to mono-processing, tunnel vision, and reverting to a few drilled outputs. Sparring becomes stress inoculation, not precision calibration. When the curriculum is a list of 500 techniques, your formulation stage becomes recall and select, not analyze and formulate. You spend energy searching a mental database instead of analyzing the present moment. Your senses, decision-making, and body are not in conversation. They are three strangers lurching forward. The fix starts with self-awareness. You must reconnect your own internal feedback loop first. Focus on spatial placement and precise execution. Learn to observe your own biomechanical elements with accuracy and to execute them with exacting control. The 5-moment hold is conscious processing time. It forces your brain to link what you see with what you feel. You are not memorizing a pose. You are training Stage 1 to report accurately and Stage 3 to follow commands precisely. This is a boot camp for self-observation and self-execution fidelity. Without this foundation, any external training is built on sand. You cannot process an opponent's actions if you cannot process your own body. Start with yourself. You need a language to connect observation to formulation. The 6 elemental categories provide that grammar. Stage 1 no longer reports opponent close. It reports distance, high-risk zone, front section. Psychology appears justifiably secure. Biomechanics, weight forward 70/30. This specific input changes everything. Stage 2 now has clear, structured data to work with. It runs a cause and effect calculation. Given these elements, if you apply a tactical element like deprive using a parrying action on a diagonal plane, it will create a predicted biomechanical opening. Formulation becomes deductive, not random. You move from guessing to calculating. The framework gives your brain a consistent way to describe conditions and predict outcomes. This is the difference between a fighter and a spamming machine. Partner application rigorously tests your reconnected loop. You apply the framework against a live opponent. The feedback from the world, did it work? Now feeds back in a structured way. Did the opponent react as the elements predicted? If not, which element did you misidentify? You learn to tighten the loop. This is not about winning the exchange. It is about calibrating your processing system. Each successful application confirms your model. Each failure forces a correction. Over time, your loop learns to process faster and more accurately. You stop tolerating misses as noise. You treat every miss as system failure and correct the input. The loop becomes a precision instrument, not a spam cannon. That is the goal. This reconnection creates a combat asymmetry. You face an opponent whose processing loop is broken. They observe poorly, formulate from habit, execute without feedback. Their stages operate as isolated silos. Your loop is integrated. You observe specific conditions, formulate deductively, execute with intent. You feed results back into the loop and tighten it. They cannot adapt. They cannot correct. They rely on volume to cover for a broken targeting system. You rely on precision. Each exchange teaches your system. Each exchange confirms or corrects your model. Over time, the gap widens. You become faster, more accurate, more adaptive. They stay the same, repeating the same broken patterns. That is the asymmetry you train for. Fix your processing loop first. Train your observation, formulation, and execution as one system. That is the difference between a fighter and a weapon.